Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Fly Nubian Money, where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your money. Today, I think this conversation is one that we hold dear to our hearts: the Black family reunion. Y'all remember? You remember we used to gather every summer to reconnect, to laugh, to love, and to celebrate each other. Do y'all remember? But now it seems like those big family reunions are a thing of the past. And so the question is, are we drifting apart because of distance, or has the pandemic and generational changes made us lose something that was so sacred to our culture? Let's talk about how we got here. Let's talk about what we lost, and if there's any way that we can bring it back. But first, I want to introduce the most dynamic, wonderful, beautiful, amazing queens on this goddamn planet. We're going to start it off with my girl, my good girlfriend, Miss Dr. Alicia. What's happening, Dr. Alicia? She is a therapist. She is a professor and all the things. And then we're going to go on down to Miss Aisha Verze. She is your wealth strategist. She can help you to grow your money. And then we have the brilliance monetization strategist, my homie. What's up, Dr. Lene? What up? Let me ask you a question before we get into the videos that prompted this. Let me ask you, when was the last time y'all been to some family reunions? I'll start with you, Dr. Alicia. When's the last time you been to a family reunion?
You know what? I actually have one this year in South Carolina, North Carolina. I can't go because I got to move my daughter into her dorm. So I will not even be able to go. It's in August. That's the worst time in the world to have an event for me. But I appreciate being invited. I know that there's a lot of buzz going on about family reunions, but I do know that attendance has been down for our family reunions. So yeah, that part I know.
Now, Aisha, you're originally from Nigeria, right? Now, do you guys celebrate family reunions like we do?
No, we don't have those. But but we get together though, but not like the way Americans do. No.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Dr. Lene? When's the last time you've been to a family reunion?
So my family, we got multiple families. So my mom's side of the family, they have a reunion every year. It moves around through the Midwest, and my mom's gone often, and I try to go whenever I can or when I'm out that way. We haven't been in a while. My mom did say I think she's going to try to go next year. Sometimes it's dependent on where it's at. Yeah. Location, which members and groups of the family is there. On this side of our family, which is like my grandfather's side, or my mom's side, my nana's side, Lord have mercy. All of us who live over here, like on the West Coast, we get together, but not the same way. And I'm actually thinking about hosting a family reunion next year for the very reason. Like, you could literally be walking by some family member, you don't even know it. It's not the same as it used to be. But when we get together, we have such a good time. Yeah. So it's been a while since I've been to one. I don't think I've, on my dad's side, it has to have been at least 5 years minimum.
Yeah. It's been a couple years for me too. I think maybe I went last year. I just remember doing a lot of eating and sleeping, but it's the best times ever. The best times ever. But I would say, yeah, from us, we don't get together as often as we used to. It has declined significantly. And I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know if it's the elders. I don't know if I have a different opinion on why I think maybe that we don't get together as often, and why we used to get together so much. I think there was a reason behind that, but we'll talk about it more as we go on with the show. But let's look at a couple of videos about what brought up this very, very topic, which I think is interesting.
Y'all, they out here saying black family reunions have declined by 47% since 1997 due to our elders passing on, which is Granny and Pawpaw, right? And unresolved family issues. This shit is true. Family just ain't family no more. And I'm going to say that growing up back in the day, it did feel like a family. You've missed that feeling. It's like a nostalgia feeling. But it was also a lot of dysfunction and chaos. It was a lot of trauma. And what kept us together a lot of the times was just trauma bonding. See, I come from that era where whatever goes on in my house stays in my house. You don't talk about nothing, right? And no matter what a person did to you, yeah, that's still your family. Yeah, that's still your... No. See, I come from an era where my granny used to make them Sunday dinners and everybody would come over like soul food, right? And even though it felt like nostalgia, it is nostalgia. It's a certain smell, it's a certain taste. You miss it. But now that I'm almost 40, I see how much dysfunction and chaos was going on within my family, and I choose to opt out of it, right? It's no village no more, right? It's kind of like every man for themselves. That's what it feels like now, right? Even with raising your kids. A lot of the grandparents ain't like they used to be, right? The grandparents nowadays like, shit, I'm about to have a life too, even though they used to drop our ass off at our grandparents' house all goddamn day long. Our grandparents raised us, right? But now more so than anything, what I do see is a lot of people actually talking about those family secrets or what traumatized them or childhood trauma, and just trying to raise their kids, raise our kids, which is the younger generation now, raise them up in a way in which if it's toxic and it's hurting you, it's okay to let go, even if it is family. Like, y'all have no idea how many people actually...
What do you think? I mean, I think a lot of what she's saying is true, about, you know, all the drama and the trauma and the grandmamas ain't the grandmamas no more. Shit, grandmama trying to have her own, like trying to host nobody. What do you think about what she said? Is that true, Aisha? What do you think?
Well, you know, while she was speaking, I was listening to her and I felt, wow, it's so true. Sometimes when things happen within families, especially if we don't discuss it and then we come together to celebrate, it makes it hard. And then as time goes on and we're realizing that this happened to us, like she said, and I want to raise my kids differently. So then if there's a celebration I don't want to attend because something happened, I didn't talk about it, we have this reunion, we're all happy, but I know that something happened that I can't talk about because it stays in the family. So that's kind of traumatic and it's difficult. So I can see where that is the case based on what she was discussing. And it's hard. I think it's hard. And today we have so much information about, you know, things happening within families now. So people are taking it personal and doing their own thing. Yeah. Right. That's why I see her talking about, and I can understand that as well. Because it's not easy. It's not easy to be smiling when you know somebody's hurting you and you see the person smiling right in front of you and having a great time. And everybody say, let it go, especially if it's a deep wound that really affects you deeply, right? So, yeah, but it's very sad because family time is so important. I believe that anytime we get a chance to spend time with our family, there's no substitute. But of course, if there's hurt, we want to heal it. And if we don't heal it, it makes it harder.
Yeah. I don't know about y'all, Dr. Alicia and Dr. Lene, but I grew up, my cousins were my siblings. Like, we were super close. Like, they was my road dogs. And I would say, like, right now, my kids barely know their cousins. And I think that's a sad thing. It's a sad transition from where we were. Dr. Lene, what do you think about what she says? Why the decline of the family?
My son doesn't even like to come to family functions. I have to beg him damn near. And it's for that reason, like you said. When I grew up, so my grandmother, I've said this before, my grandmother had 5 girls and all her girls had girls, and then all of us had boys. So although I have 2 sisters that grew up in my house with me and my sister beneath me are 5 years apart, or 4 years apart. Her and my sister beneath her are 5. So I'm 4 years from her and then 9 from my other sister. And so my cousins, all of us are like on top of each other, right? So I have one cousin. We have one cousin that's older than us by like 5 years or something like that. And then it's me, a cousin up under me, a cousin up under me, a cousin up under her, and then a cousin 2 years up under her. So we hang out. We all turn 21. Boop, 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 boop. Mm-hmm. So we're hanging out together. We're traveling together. We're living life together. We are like sister cousins, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have children, and these children, like my son, my cousin had her daughter, then the next year her son, then my son, and then there's like 2, 3, 4, 5 year gaps between everybody after that. And then he's the first in our family. So in my household, my son's the first, and then no grandkid for 7 years. And he's the only child. So he just feels like nobody's there for me. Nobody's my age, nobody to talk to. So I'd be like, just come through. Like my nephews and stuff are getting older, but he just feels like not an outcast, but just
disconnected. Like, he has no connection with them.
Completely disconnected. Yeah. Cousins live in California, so he has no cousins here. It's just him. So unless the whole family is in town and everybody's coming and everybody's getting involved and is here, he kind of come through. But if not, it's him at 25, then 18, then 16, then 12, then 7. And he just be like, what am I gonna do? So I don't know how to fix those dynamics. Because it makes him feel disconnected, like he's on his own, like he's by himself. He finds more comfort in his friends and his friends' families than our own. And it's I don't know, it's weird.
It's jacked up. I have 3 boys and they don't even hang out with each other. Boys are just weird like that anyway. Like boy, you got built-in besties. Like, Dr. Alicia, what do you think? Why do you think the decline of the Black family reunion?
I think it's been said here. I think what Dr. Lene was talking about is that her son is getting connections elsewhere. And it's not just by blood ties. It's by what you're interested in. He connects with people that's genuine connection based on a shared interest. Mm-hmm. And maybe sometimes kinfolk, you just hang out with them and you're like, you know what? I don't have anything in common with these people. Why am I going to take out time and devote time to connect with them when we are all just divided? I also think that even what Aisha was talking about was that, what is it when we have these family reunions and I have to be around potentially somebody who was hurtful to me? That means I have to bury and abandon myself so that I can appease grandma because mama wants us to ignore the fact that some scary moments happened in this family nobody wants to talk about. And I have to let go of all of that and those terrible experiences just so that we can keep the peace, which is a trauma response.
Yeah.
So I think if we want to have a true family reunion, we have to kind of air out some of this dirty laundry so that people feel safe enough to want to come to those things and it to be a really great positive experience. Yeah.
True. Interesting and very, very true. Let's go to a commercial and then we'll talk more about it when we come back.
Woo! It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
You know what I think? So if you look at the historical perspective of us as Black people and our migration from the South, it was very necessary for us to get together for family reunions because we didn't see each other anymore. You think about when we're in the South, we migrated different places. So for example, for my family, my mom and them came to California. My uncles went to Detroit. Some of my uncles went to Chicago. Some of them went to Minnesota. Like they all went to these different places, and they couldn't talk on the phone a lot of times. So remember I used to write my grandma letters. Grandmother's, she's born 1915. So we would write letters. That's how they would communicate with their mom and their brothers and their sisters. They'd have to write letters. They weren't really talking on the phone. So they didn't see each other, right? So the family reunions were very, very important because otherwise, if I don't engage this one time a year, every other year, I'm not going to see my family. So we have to make sure we go and descend on Madia's house and go eat all that good food and do all that good, have that good fun. Now we have communication right now. I moved 3,000 miles away from my family. We got a whole family group chat. It's called whole family group chat. My mom and daddy, brother, sister, kids. We FaceTime. My son FaceTimes us every other day. And he doesn't get on the camera. He just want to get everybody on the phone. So I think we are more disconnected, but we are also more connected because we have access. We can see each other's lives. We can see each other on social media. So we don't necessarily have to get together like we used to, although I think it's necessary. I think because of technology, we're now able to engage a lot more than we were in the past. Because back in the past, like one time, when I was like 8 years old, we go to a family reunion in San Diego. My uncle, this is my mom's brother. Now they're years apart. But my uncle was like, "Ooh, who is that fine chick over there?" Somebody said, "Fool, that's your sister." That was a separate. Like my uncle didn't even know that my mama was his sister. That's how long it took them to get together and connect because there was that disconnection. And so I just, we can get on Facebook and see what they're doing. Oh, okay.
I never thought about it like that, but that makes good sense. I have a cousin that was in Texas who I was not close with growing up. And now I look at her. First of all, we are so super similar in our interests and our looks. Every time I see her, I see myself. She's a cousin on my dad's side. Like we didn't grow up with each other. I'm closer to her older sister than I am to her. But I watch her life and I watch how she lives. And so whenever we do get in the same room, she's like, "I got this." I said, "Girl, I know. I've been seeing you on social media."
Right.
Although I did not grow up with her, talking to her, I feel like I'm more connected to her by watching how she operates and how she lives than I was before. And I don't even talk to her at all on the phone.
Yeah. See, I mean, we're got the instant connection. So do I really need to get with you and eat all that bad food? I don't know. Yeah. But let's look at the other video and let's talk about it.
I just want to tell y'all this. Don't y'all ever, 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 ever join your family reunion committee. Because when I tell you, you're going to be stressed out to the point of no return, and you're going to stop liking everybody in your family, and you're going to want to not even attend the family reunion, and you're going to want to ignore calls, and it's going to break up relationships. All just because nobody can get on the same page. Everybody want 5 different color t-shirts. People mad about the prices of the t-shirts. I don't care if the family reunion was $5. Somebody gonna keep saying, "I'm gonna pay my money next week. I'm gonna pay my money next week." The money never come. Okay, the family reunion is $60 for 3 days. People can't even send deposits of $30 for themselves. We said if you can't send $30, just send $15. We all out here shooting bad, but damn. How much do you want to pay to attend the family reunion? We can't give it to you for free. Who gonna pay for the buildings and who gonna pay for the caterers and the food? So all I can say is I'm up to here with it and I bow out gracefully. I don't even know how I got on the family reunion committee, and to make it worse, I'm a child to my daddy's family. Now all of a sudden they done put me in charge of everything. I've been a child my whole life. Almost 40 years old, and I'm still a child to my daddy's family. And so now on the family reunion committee, I'm in charge of everything. How did I even get here? Again, don't ever, ever get on the family reunion committee.
Listen, I can relate because I have been on the committee. It is so freaking messy. It's fun because we all get together. So when we was doing it, it was all fairly, they come to somebody's house and we all act a damn fool, but we got nothing done. Every single time my mama was the antagonist. So she's arguing with everybody. It was just a mess. And we got nothing done. Nobody paid nothing. We fighting over the shirts. The Holy Ghost told my auntie something about somebody. It was just a mess. So, I can totally agree, totally relate. Has any of y'all had the pleasure of being on the family reunion committee? And how's that experience been for you, if you have? And anybody in the audience too?
Anybody? Thank the Lord, no, I have not. I've never been on the family reunion committee, and then anything that I do, I'm the head, not the tail. So the things that I have done for the family, it's going to be something that it's my idea, and I organize. If you would like to help facilitate, that's cool. I'm gonna give you a job, but know that this is my vision. Anything other than that, because like I said, five aunts, a whole bunch of women, family of chiefs. A family of chiefs.
Man.
Whenever I'm in my familial environment, I play Indian. Tell me what you want to do. Tell me where you want me to be. How can I help? I don't advise. I don't take the lead. I don't speak up. I let the chiefs be the chiefs, and I play Indian. Tell me what you need.
I remember I was in Jack and Jill, and you have all these women who would have these events, and I would just be like, everybody want to know, we do an event, everybody want to tell, no, we should do it. And I'd be like, where do I put the table? Just tell me where I put the table. Everybody want to be the chief. And that's just like Black family reunions. Everybody want to be the chief. Everybody want to have say so. Just tell me where I put the table.
I always say, I know how to lead from the back.
Right.
I'm gonna walk in the room and I'm assess. Okay, she want to be the leader. Okay, she ain't. I want to play this role over here. I'm cool with that.
I'm just gonna stay out the way. That's all I'm gonna do.
That's it. I'm gonna stay out the way. I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna show up. Let me know what you need from me. If you need a skill set, if you need a connect, I got you.
Right.
If I can offer anything, if you ask me. And I don't know if that's the best approach, but it keeps the peace.
And it keeps your stress down. Dr. Alicia, Aisha, have you any of you guys have the pleasure? Your family's probably not like my family. My family's country. Either of you guys have the pleasure of organizing anything like that? Well,
I haven't organized a family reunion, fortunately. But one thing I will say is that you do have money for what's important for you. You do take out the time for things that are important. I know everybody had money for the Beyonce concert. Did they have money for their $30 shirt? Like, I don't understand.
And everything.
Yeah, I mean, and I also want to say, I was just looking it up while we were talking, but church attendance is also down 60%. And among Black men, church attendance is down 89% among Black men. So to me,
among
Black men is 89%, but among Black people in general, it's 60% church attendance. And to me, in my mind, I think church attendance goes hand in hand in my mind as family reunions. And I'm wondering, not saying that you do not have enough money, to me, that's a signal of a lack of connection. If you're more connected to Beyonce and her music, you're going to spend money and your time going to that concert, but not really with these people who are your family. So again, that's an example of something's missing. The connection is missing there. They don't feel welcomed or like people can see them. There's an emotional aspect to it that Beyonce can tap into and some other artists, but it doesn't seem like people who are blood relatives, doesn't seem like they've been able to connect to that.
Yeah. Dr. Alicia, are those stats for in-person attendance or are those stats for overall attendance?
It's in-person attendance. And so I kind of feel like there's no substitute for, being right there.
We're falling backwards into technological connection because I bedside Baptist a lot. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people who bedside Baptist nowadays. I literally have to pull myself from church at home and go into the church and sit in the pew. And I look around, my church is usually filled. We have upstairs, downstairs, and the cupboard is bare now.
Yeah, it's a crisis.
People watch from the house. They watch while they clean, they watch on the go. If I miss church, I'm gonna get caught up on it on Tuesday and just watch it.
Well, let me ask y'all this. Diamond said, I'm not going. And I need to know why Diamond ain't going to the family reunion. Like, what is going on? Why you not going? And then Anonymous said there's always a coon at it's always somebody that might act up a little bit, but family is family. Like sometimes we act up. Let's look at some of the comments on some of these videos that I think we see. Somebody said, I agree with the statement. Family hasn't been the same since I was younger. Ashley said, it's sad to see such an important tradition fading. These reunions have always been a way to honor heritage and strengthen family bonds. We should do what we can to keep this legacy alive. And then somebody said, yes, my family fake on fake. See, so that's why Diamond said he ain't going. It's a family reunion within a family reunion. Each family had their own table. Oh, that's too bad. Nah, I'm moving around. I'm moving around. Most family reunions in every race in America are declining by almost half. Why that research only highlighting Black family reunions? Because we are probably the leading force of family reunions. Once the glue is gone, that's it. It's sad that it's that way, but family don't have godly love for one another. Family now just tolerates one another because of relation. It's sad, man. We must do better. And again, I think like now, I'm more connected with those people in the South than I am now, because just by virtue of me being able to see them on social media, as opposed to sometimes when I was younger and I would see them every few years. So I think the disconnect was probably always there when there was a separation of the Great Migration of Black folks. I think that disconnect was always there. It was just that family reunion that would bring us back together. Let's look at another video on this.
What's good, family? I just seen a report that said that Black family reunions is down 48% after the elders pass away. And it makes a lot of sense. It really does. For one, I come from a family that really ain't never had no family reunions. We would do cookouts and everything and, you know, come together when it comes to the holidays. But honestly, like when it comes to my grandfather's side of the family, I know his kinfolk, well, majority of them. But when it came to my grandma's side of the family, I never knew any of her relatives until she passed away. It definitely seems like after she passed away, our family ain't really been like, it hasn't really been as connected as it was when I was younger. It's been some family members that I haven't talked to in years that I used to live with. I rarely talk to my siblings like that. Yeah, it's definitely, it's not as connected as it used to be. And when it comes to politics, if you got a difference of opinion in politics, meaning you come from a family full of Democrats, but you may be a conservative, they definitely ain't really trying to fool with you like that. It's also a big divide when it comes to the community in general. Ain't that always been the plan? I mean, it's always been a plan to separate the Black family. It's been a plan to separate the mother from the father, and now you got single motherhood being glorified in our community. It was a plan to separate the young from the old, which in my opinion is really that's a bad card to be handed anyway, because we need our elders to tell us about the past. Most of the elders that I know that I've seen out here, they all strung out, or they all really just as toxic as the youth are. When it comes to churches, I haven't been to church in quite some time, but even when I used to go to church, it really feel like family. It felt like I had to fake kick it in order to be a part of a congregation, make appointments to meet with the pastor. Nah, at one point the pastor used to be a part of the family. Y'all would have dinner together after church, or counseling you, like, because those churches were small. You know what I mean? They wasn't big mega churches. Pastor was a pivotal part of the community. They would resolve issues. They were easy to talk to. When it comes to Gen X, millennials, we have kind of paved the way for Gen Zers to realize you don't have to fake kick it with your family. This is one of the reasons why family therapy is also important. One thing about the Black community, they're really good at hiding things. They don't never get addressed. They just get swept under the rug, as opposed to really sitting down with somebody who can help you sort through your problems. The community, the family, is definitely divided. So if you got a family and you real close with them, consider that a blessing. Also know that all family doesn't share the same blood as you. Your family could be the people who you...
Yeah, so I love what C. White said. I love this. My mom's side of the family run their family reunion as a business. They give away scholarships, schedule events. It's really well organized. This is the 37th event. I want to be a part of your family. See, White? Sheesh. That's the kind.
Listen, I copied and pasted that, dropped it in my Gmail so I could send it to myself.
Right.
That's really,
right.
Some of it is the decline.
Yeah.
Some of it is in the interest. Some of it is in just how they're ran, right? So if you keep it well organized, top tier, people look forward to coming and seeing it, because it's one thing to see, it's one thing to know what's going on in somebody's life and see it online. It's another to sit down and talk to them about it and get some game. How did you do that? And can I do that here? How about if we partner? Would you like to bring your business? Like it's different to actually sit down and break bread, because although I see you, I'm seeing what's happening. I don't know what happened before. I don't know what happened after. I don't know what you had to go through to get there. Like it's something different when you actually get to sit down and break bread with somebody in your family versus clicking a like and good job, sis, on their social media.
That's so true. Do you think, Aisha, that we're losing like our cultural connection because of the lack of the reunions that we're having?
Now that I'm hearing more and more about it, I can see where absolutely, because like the lady was saying, the video that they said they're more focused on the Black family. That's because that was a big thing for the culture, for the Black community, to have the family reunions. And I used to see that, like sometimes I see a group of people and they'll have their T-shirts on, and I see them maybe going from one place to another to do something. I say, wow, something is happening to this family. Something is going on. You kind of notice it. And for it to be dwindling down, I think it's a sad thing, because everybody is going to lose at the end, because we need each other. But I also believe that COVID played a big part of it, because when COVID happened, that disconnect really, the chasm became even wider, because now people found other ways to do things. So then they don't have to worry about getting together as a family. But I think that's very sad. And so now we're just seeing the ripple effect of COVID. And that's what actually said that it's not even done yet. There's more effect coming, but it will show up much later. So this is one of it, because it's so obvious that families are not getting together and that connection is no longer there. And social media gives you a false sense of togetherness. Because like Dr. Lene say, there's a difference between the energy you feel when a human being is in front of you and you can feel their heart. How did I do this? How did you do that? So how did you feel? But when you see just a shiny object on the Instagram, it's all perfectly done. But what are the things that happened before you got there? Nobody knows about that, but we check and we greet you on that, but we don't know what you went through to get there. But a family time allows you to see all the behind the scenes. I had to go through this, I had to go through that just to get there. And then the person values you so much more, because there's a connection that it's like, wow, great job. Instead of just, oh, like empty likeness. So we feel disconnected because of that. And it makes us feel like we're doing more, but also not feeling fulfilled, because we know that we're missing something. Yeah. Our families are not there with us. So I think that's what I feel about the effect of what you just said. Like, wow, she's so right. It's so important to be together.
Yeah, that's true.
So first of all, I just realized we all have on glasses today.
We do.
Right. I was like, wait a minute, we all have glasses on today. But I have a question for Dr. Alicia. You're always coming out with these great stats. I want to send it to you. Do you think that there is a relationship? We talk often about trauma bonding, right? But we're seeing a lot of decline in family dynamics. You said men in church, family reunions. There's just a lot of these declines that are happening. What I feel like they're interrelated. If we're not bonding over trauma, is there something else that we can bond over to increase familial dynamics? And because I feel like it doesn't have to be, it's framed as if the elders are passing away and that's why this is happening. And I don't think that that's the case, because if we had more healthy relationships and we liked our family members and there weren't all these barriers, we would come together. So is there something else that we can bond over besides trauma to kind of, swing the pendulum back towards getting together, marriages increasing, family dynamics increasing, people liking each other again? Is there something we can do about that?
Yeah, I think we do have to re-envision how we look at family reunions and make some changes. I love change. I like progressiveness. I like, not that there's something wrong with the old, but you can still carry on traditions, but in a new, refreshing way. If you think about it, think about how and why family bonds are very important for African Americans in particular, because Aisha made a really poignant statement. She's like, that's not a big deal in Africa, but it's a big deal here in the States. When Aisha said that, I was thinking, yes, because slavery systematically stripped people away. Like your child, you could have a child, and by the time they're 2 or 3, they can be sold off to another plantation and you will never see them again. Can you imagine that? Family bonds were forced to be separated. And that was just one of many of the evils of slavery that went on for 12 generations. And so now that we're out of that, of course, there's a need and an importance in us to want to connect and rebuild what's been broken in us, psychologically, emotionally, everything. It's so important to find out who we all are. I mean, think about that. So maybe now, instead of saying that there's no need for family reunions, maybe there's a need to shift how we look at family reunions. Maybe we need to engage youth more, develop them and have them to have leadership skills that are important, because that's what family reunions are. It's leadership skills. Because think about it, in my family, we all get together. If there's a funeral or a wedding, we'll get together. You know, and I'm like, and we always end with, we should get together more. And then it doesn't happen because no one's organizing it. And even when I went to college, I went to a predominantly white institution, Indiana University. And it was the very first time at 18, when I went to college that fall semester, and I came home for Thanksgiving, I had no idea how I was just craving connection, because I'm in I'm at a classroom of 200 people. I'm the only Black person in that classroom. All day long, I barely saw people who looked like me. But to go home, I was just like, why do I feel so good all of a sudden? It's because I saw people who saw me not just as this Black girl from Gary, Indiana, but they saw me for who and what I am. So that sense of acceptance was like really kind of cool. So I really do think that we should start anew. Let's start a new tradition where we can come up with some creative ways to have that connection, like I felt when I first went away from home and then came back. I was lost in college. I had no idea I was lost. I was just surviving, trying to get through my first semester with all those classes. But, you know, how can we recreate this in a way that is more current? It's 2025. We got to do something different now. And I think we just need to engage people. We need to be creative. We need to think outside the box. Everything must change.
That is true.
Yeah.
And to your point, it's like the funerals are the new reunions. Like, you know, that's where I see everybody. It was like, okay, yeah. And then, you know, as we get older, the funerals become more frequent. And so that's our every 2 years instead of the family reunions. Unfortunately, it's kind of like,
and more people come to the funeral than they do the family reunion.
That's right. And so, you know, that's your opportunity to do all the things that you would have done during the family reunion. That's what I see. But let's take a look at this next video. What about you guys? What do you guys see? Do you guys see there is a dynamic shift, folks in the chat, a dynamic shift in the way your family gathers as opposed to what they used to? The good thing, I would say for me in California, my family still gets together like all the time, but it's just it's my immediate family. It's my mom, my dad, my dad's wife, and my sister and my brother, and just the people in that city. And they all, every week they do Bible study together. Sundays they have dinner, you know, stuff like that. So those are the things that I miss out on. But, you know, I just say, hey, FaceTime, because I love the DMV. Anyway, let's look at the next video.
Ladies and gentlemen, they say that the family reunion attendance and planning is down. Black folk, Black people. No. We're not gonna let this happen. Everybody on the internet talking about get your money up and all that, yeah, and that's fine. We supposed to, but we can't slip. Get together. I need to see them shirts. I knew I wasn't tripping. I ain't seen a family reunion shirt in a minute. We need to get. I know. Because you get older. Big Mama passed away, and everybody stopped getting along. Everybody wasn't getting along when she was alive, but she kept everything in line. Big Mama, Papa, them. You know what I'm saying? You know, because their house was the central meeting location. No, we still got to get together, man. You know what I'm saying? Cookouts, all that. Right outside. Fire up the grill. Everybody get together. Everybody get together, hold hands, praying together. The family reunion was it now. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is what we supposed to do. Here's summer. End of July. This is what we supposed to do. I know I done missed a few of mine, but that's what we supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying? Catch up with everybody. You know what I'm saying? That drunk uncle, You know what I'm saying? That auntie that drink wine a little too much, the one to be talking about everybody. A bougie auntie that thinks she better than everybody. We want to see all y'all. Come on. We can't be doing this. You know that the family reunion, that's it. That is it. We were slightly bougie with ours, you know what I mean? We be at the embassy. You know, we get together, be at the embassy. Ain't got nothing planned. We got that. We got the family banquet. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, we chilling. Come on, man. No, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing none of this. Everybody, we got to get together, man, and remind folk where they come from. You know how that go. All the older people, you know what I mean? They be happy as hell to see each other because they know they ain't finna do nothing but talk about the old days. Somebody might pull out a joint. That's fine. You've been working hard all year. Ain't nothing smoking. Damn kids running around. Introduce them kids to their damn cousins so they don't mess around and have a baby with each other. Hell, that's what the family reunion for. See that's Aunt Dot grandson right there. One with the hazel eyes. Yeah, that, you know, he got them eyes because his great-great-granddaddy was white. Yeah, the great-granddaddy name was Bobby Shoemaker. Come on over here and meet your family. That's what that's for. We got to get back on that family reunion, man. Come on now. Let's get back on it. Print them down.
I remember I was at visiting back in Gould, Arkansas, and I'm around there kissing on a little boy. And then I heard him talking about, something about Ainola. No, Cudnola. They call Cudden. Cudnola. Cudnola is my grandmother. Cudnola is your cousin? My grandmother. So yeah, you got to know who your kinfolk are, else you be around there kissing little people that be your cousins.
Kissing cousins. That's a real thing. But you know, he brought up a good point, Constance. Classism. Let's say classism in the family. Getting together. These cousins live a certain kind of these cousins of this family live a certain kind of life, and these cousins of family have elevated a little bit and coming together, and who she thinks she is and who he thinks she is. And you got the young folks, and I go to this school, I play for this team. Like we're not on the same page anymore. We don't know how to leave those things behind. We're judgmental.
Not bonding over struggle no more. Do you think that maybe people spend more money on, you know how everything is like Instagrammable, and I want to go on these luxury vacations and I'm doing this, and these are all priorities over maybe possibly getting together with a family?
Not even that financing it. If you know your cousin don't got the $60 and you got 60 times 15, sponsor them. You know, y'all got to get there, but I got your $60.
Right.
Like we have to. Am I my brother's keeper? This thing.
Yeah.
Right. Am I my family's keeper? This thing.
Yeah.
I think that it is true. I am guilty. I am guilty of being busy. I have on my calendar, call a family member once a week. I can pick whichever one I want. I got to schedule it because I'm busy. But I try to do my best with staying connected. When my cousin graduated from high school, my whole family was here. And we had to do a tiebreaker for one of the games we're playing. And so what the tiebreaker was you have to name 5 things about a family member that's in the room. Couldn't be somebody related to you. So it has to be somebody else's family. So like one of my aunt's kids, something like that. And people were struggling. You don't know 5 things about this person right here that's in this room with you? So then after that, we needed another tiebreaker. And we had to say 5 things about my Nana. She passed away. And the people under us, they can't say nothing.
Wow.
Like, we're going to start doing this every time we get together. Every time we get together, we have to talk about something about somebody or something about the past or something so that you know who you are, where you come from, who your cousin is, what they do. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What you said about, the family separating, because of now we've elevated in some way, and now there's these issues of class, and you got the bougie auntie, but I think it's gone beyond that, because now you have some of the educated people and they don't really want to socialize with them uneducated people, and so there is that. I mean, have you guys in the chat, have you guys seen like a level of maybe classism once you get to, go to your family reunions, because I would imagine that the people on both sides don't want to be bothered. I want to be bothered with her bougie ass. And then the bougie person, I don't want to be bothered with her ghetto ass. So there might be issues on both sides if you have that dynamic in your family. But for you, Dr. Alicia, how can reunions serve as a space for healing for generational trauma that's happened, between them, with sharing family legacy, like how they can come together as a family? Like, what are some exercises I would say that you think that they can do?
I think, well, first I want to comment on that video because it leads right into the healing piece. What that guy was saying was that we need to have spaces where we are letting ourselves tolerate differences, because social media and our lives are so tailored to what we're interested in that we have no practice interacting with somebody who disagrees with us. Like, just because you disagree with me doesn't mean I hate you. Right. It just means you think that way, I think this way. Why can't we just allow each other to have difference? Being comfortable with difference is one way to tolerate hanging out with the drunk uncle, because drunk uncles are funny. I got a drunk uncle and he was hilarious. Like, bring him down. Where Uncle Dan? His name Uncle Dan. Where Uncle Dan? Because he brought jokes. As the night went on, the jokes got funnier. And drunk uncle, I mean, there was a beauty in all of it. And the bougie aunt, we loved her because she always had money. She got money so I could buy candy. So we just, there was a sense of tolerance and acceptance of who and what everybody is. And I think that should be honored and not judged and put down. And that's where I feel like we need to have safety. I mean, I think when these family reunions start organizing, they really need to embed in it safety. Let's make sure everybody is safe. Let's make sure we can ensure that while this family reunion is going on, that no one is put in a position where they're uncomfortable. Let's make sure everybody's supervised. Let's make a commitment to really being healthy with each other. And just having that sort of commitment, that'll just make everybody relax. And I love the sharing of things, your thoughts and your feelings. Although you can dissent from everybody else, we can just love. We got a MAGA cousin. Okay, we got to love the MAGA cousin too, even though they're misguided, but they can be, we love them too. So just showing an acceptance and creating an atmosphere of everybody just being seen and heard. We don't have to agree with everyone. I think that would do a really great place in making sure everyone is emotionally and physically safe.
Yeah. But to your point, Dr. Alicia, I think because we're so self-aware now, people are overly sensitive to some things. Like, girl, if you don't get your ass up in here and go hang out with your cousins, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to bond over trauma. He was me, girl. Because every time I used to go to reunions, they'd be like, girl, you're big. You got big. You're so big, girl. Did you know you got, I'm like, okay.
When you get married, you always together on that. Right? Time you show up, you got somebody new. It's always something. Your mama told me.
You got to brace yourself, right? You got to brace yourself when you go to family. This is part of the family. It's part of the family reunion. So just brace yourself for the weekend. Maybe bring a little case of gin or something where you could take with you and be able to tolerate your family and try to be present. Just don't be around people who talk about you ain't been married or who's that. You still got your special roommate girl that you still. Yes,
don't take yourself so seriously. People get so uptight about stuff. Yeah, just be honest with yourself.
I'm not going to tolerate all of the, girl.
That's why I love when people, like, when I went to high school in Gary, Indiana. We used to, at lunchtime, we used to do the dozens. And whatever hang up you had, it was coming out in the dozens. But it was still love there, and it was still, we all laugh, but no one was laughing really at you, but with you. And you'd be like, you're right. I do that sometimes. It's just being honest with yourself. Because Black people can crack you up with the dozens.
My family will laugh at you and clown the shit out of you. And you better have a thick skin. And that's why I don't care about what nobody says, because can't nobody clown me worse than my family. So, you just roll with it. That's what made me who I am today, is dealing with these Negroes. you just go and you deal with it. Yes, I've gained weight. Yeah, whatever. I ain't got married yet. Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, but you have to have a comeback. You be like, yes, I gained weight, but look at this.
Right. My man like it. My man like it. All of that stuff. But yeah, but just don't take yourself so serious and go enjoy them people. Go enjoy your family. Let's look at let's go to the last commercial before we do our final thoughts.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
Okay, so Family Business said, first, let's begin by defining what a family is. What are the panel's definition of a family? So let's start with you, Aisha. What is your definition of a family?
That's a great question. Actually, I was looking at that question. I'm like, well, that's a good question. Family, for me, though, maybe from my perspective, when I came to this country as an immigrant and I don't have my family with me, and I had to create a family here. I had to find a way to create a family here. And my church became my family. My church that I attend, they became my family. And before I actually left home, my parents told me, as soon as you get there, make sure you find family that's mature family, that represents them to me. That was the first thing that was already planted in my mind, to find that. So my church, when I saw an elder that I connected with, that became my family. And they were there for me. If anything was going on, they checked on me, right? So it was already built in me to do that. So right away I did that. So my church really is my family, and then the friends I made in church over time, and of course when I went to college, and then when I went to school, and so when I went to work, I made my family there, and then now of course my husband and his family. So that family came from my heart, of course, born from my heart. And then there's the blood relations that are all back home in Africa that are my family as well. So really, it's the people that are there for you. When something happens and you need them, they're there for you. They don't have to ask you this. They love you unconditionally, and they make sure that your interest is also considered, and they make sure that they show up if you need them. That's family.
Amen. So Dr. Lene, I'm gonna go with you in 30 seconds.
Listen, family, people you can trust, people who have your back, people who you love. We would like for them to be related to us. Sometimes they're not, but that's the hope. The hope is that you can be around people who love you, who you can trust. You could be your authentic self, who does not judge you, but when they do, it's critique, not judge. Critique, something positive, good feedback. A place where you feel safe.
What about you, Dr. Alicia?
Okay, so I'm a social worker, so I believe in systems. So a family is a system of individuals. It could be like what you guys talked about, blood related. It can be by choice, by marriage, by circumstance. And it's a system of people who provide, of course, emotional support. You have a shared history, a sense of belonging. And I think it's like a family unit. It's where that unit needs to have some sort of love, safety. You can not get along with that person, and it's okay. It's okay to have conflict, a sense of identity. That's why those shirts are so important, those family reunion shirts, because that's how you identify yourself. Connection. I think a family is someone who nurtures growth. And you can be your own individual person, but it's like a secure base, even when times change, it's a base to come back to. Is this final words? I'm going to talk to everybody. No. Not yet. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I'll say for me, family is your blood first. So whether you get along with them or not, that's who your family is. Those are the people that you look to first. Those are the people that I'm going to look to first. Now, can my non-blood people be family? Absolutely. But the people who share blood with me, for me, that's my family. That's my immediate family. That's my cousin them. That's my aunties and my uncles and my grandmother and all those people. That's family. And then beyond that, friends could become family also. But for your final thought, and I'm going to start with you, Aisha, let me ask you this. If your family had one last reunion, one last chance to gather, to laugh, to share stories, and pass down the legacy of your family, what would you want your children or grandchildren to remember the most?
Wow.
That's your final thought.
That's a tough one. But if there's the only one we will have a chance to know, to have the family reunion, I think I will let them know and understand that family is key. Family is very important, and it is the foundation of any society, whether we like it or not. And this is a family that God has blessed us with, which is by blood. This is a family, and there's a reason why God put us together. That's something that we should do for each other, that this is a time for us to do it, right? And I'll make sure that they understand that. I'll make sure that when we talk about it, that they understand that these people here are people that if anything goes wrong, you can look up to them and they will support you and guide you and show you the way. And then, of course, anything that's happened in the past, generations past, hopefully we still have those to pass on to them. So then they can carry it on and remind them that please carry this forward. Don't let it stop here. Make sure you carry it forward on the other side. If this is the last one, make sure when you get to the other side, please continue what you've learned from us. That is what I will make sure that my kids that are there, carry with them.
All right. Before I go to you, Dr. Alicia, and your final thought, because I want to ask you the same question. I want to ask you, if your family had one last reunion, one last chance to gather, what would you want your children, your grandchildren to remember the most? But before you answer that question, I just want to go through some stats real quick. So according to a 2021 AARP study, 40% of American families report not having a family gathering for more than a year due to busy schedules along distances. Can anybody relate to that? Busy schedules. A 2020 Pew Research Center report shows that 20% of Americans said they were far less connected to their families than a decade ago, citing physical distance and busy lives as the main reason. And then a study by the American Psychological Association found that individuals with a strong family connections have 33% lower rates of depression and anxiety compared to those with weaker family bonds. That's interesting. So, Dr. Alicia, did you remember my question? If your family had one last reunion, what would you want your children or your grandchildren to remember the most?
I would like for them to remember the bonds that they made. I would like for them to remember the past. I'd like for them to have a sense of history, because we have a rich history in our family, and I would love for them to learn more about that. Yeah, you can talk to them about it, and they're like, yeah, those are people I don't even know, but they're also through your bloodline. So I would like for them to have a connection to the past, to form current bonds with people, and then I would like it to give them a sense of pride in who and what they are, a sense of understanding their legacy and where they come from, so that they have a maturity about them. I would like it to be a growth experience so that they can tackle this cold, hard world in a way where they feel like they have an entire tribe of people behind them, literally behind them, so they can be anything that they want to be. They're not alone in this world. You're not alone in this world.
Amen.
Yeah.
Where can I find you?
Oh, y'all know where to find me. Go to Instagram and follow me on Instagram, Coaching with Dr. Alicia, and on TikTok. If you want to work with me, you can contact me there, coachingwithdralicia.com.
Okay. And Aisha, where can they find you? We didn't say where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me at www.aishaverzi.com or the Black Business School. Thank you.
Dr. Lene, if your family had one last reunion, one last chance to gather, to laugh, to share stories, to pass down legacy, what would you want your children or your grandchildren to remember the most?
I would want them to know and remember, or remember and to know that Black is the blueprint. Everybody wants to be us. They want to be like us, and there's a reason for that. We are the shit. And so they have to try to diminish us. They have to try to keep us in a box. I want them to know that family is a circle. If you reach in front of you, there should be somebody there to pull you forward. If you reach behind you, there should be somebody there for you to pull forward. But you should also be able to reach either side of you and have somebody that you can grab and touch and hold and talk to and impress upon. What happens is when we go outside of our circle and we look for other people, they're there, but they don't love us and they aren't going to have our backs and they aren't going to show up for you like your family will. Even if I'm not really feeling you in this moment, if you call me and you need me, I'm going to be there and be Johnny on the spot. So we have to remember that we have a circle. We can have other people outside of our circle, but we do have a circle. We need to operate from that perspective as if these people are the most important people, whether they get on my nerves, whether they piss me off, whether they talk about me at the reunion. We have a common, we share something that I don't share with anybody else. I forget who said it, but blood is thicker than water. And so that's what I would tell them. Make sure that you don't forget that this is where you come from.
Don't forget who you are. That's what I would tell them. So for everybody in the audience, my question to you is the same. If you had one last reunion, one last chance to gather, to laugh, to share stories, and to pass down legacy, what would you want your children or your grandchildren to know, understand, remember the most? What is that one thing that you would want to know? For me, is family. Because here's the thing, our ancestors, they fought to stay connected through slavery, through migration, through segregation. They found ways to gather and to remember. That's the reason why it started in the first place, to love on one another. So they weren't just celebrations, they were a declaration that, listen, more than anything that we've been through, all the hardships and the atrocities, we are still here. So we can't let this tradition die. We actually have to be intentional about making sure that we restore it, because we risk losing more than just a weekend and some matching t-shirts and the barbecue and cutting Pete and everybody acting up and getting drunk and all that other stuff. We stand more to lose. We stand to lose our roots. That's part of your legacy. We tend to risk losing our wisdom that we get from the elders. So let's not do what we've been doing, what I've been doing at least, and waiting until a funeral happens to get together. Let's make sure that these reunions are the reason that we get together, that we are really intentional about seeing our family, loving on our family, and putting aside all the negativity that we may have about our family. We need to get healed. We need to build our wealth. We need to teach our family. Every time I go around them, whether it's a funeral or otherwise, they asking for me to drop some game. Hey, what you think about this, Constance? What you need? Well, Nisi, they'll call me Constance. What you think about this? So it's also an opportunity for you to drop your wisdom and share things that you need, that they need to know. So that's what it is for me. And that's what I think that we need to do. And we need to be intentional as we out here spreading the good news and building wealth and all the great things that we're doing in the world. We need to do it at home first with the people that share blood with us. Absolutely. So thank you guys for joining us today as we explore the decline of the Black family reunion and the broader impacts on our communities. Family is the foundation of so much of who we are. And it's really up to us to rebuild those connections, even in today's fast-paced, digital, no having time world. The question is, how can we balance the traditional and the modern to create a new kind of family gathering that actually honors our past and builds our future? All right. So we will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.